call upon the sponsors and support the show in any way you can. That would be awesome. Bennett Flooring Installation, online at bennettflooringinstallation.com. Also, very important that you reach out to my friends at JM Synthetics. If you're a DIY pro, which I probably should be, because when I do stuff DIY, it leads to hilarity. Okay? Not for me, for you. JM Synthetics, they distribute AMSOIL products. That's the only way you can get AMSOIL, the inventor of synthetic motor oil. So go there and drop $100 at jmsynthetics.com. All right? You can call up Jason at 616-747-0233. JM Synthetics. Lubricants for just about everything. Any vehicle or piece of equipment that you have. AMSOIL, the best in the business. They invented synthetic motor oil. And, of course, the live stream also brought to you by Zingular Products. What the hell is Zingular, Zane? Well, first of all, it's X-Y-N-G-U-L-A-R, X-Y-N-G-U-L-A-R, Zingular. It's a long line of products that helps jumpstart your metabolism, your fat burning, your energy, your stamina. You know what that means. Boing. Zingular, that might not even be true. I don't even know if that's true. But Zingular Products online, if you go to ericzaneshow.com and click on the Zingular logo, that'll take you to Kim Lazara's Facebook page. She is the distributor of these fine products. You want to be burning fat, you want to have a machine that just runs a little bit awesomely hot and helping you get in shape and stay in shape with your things you're already doing. You know, when you get to be my age, just diet and exercise isn't always the thing to help you get rid of the love handles. You might need that extra oomph as your system gets a little long in the tooth. Zingular Products online. Just click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com. It is the 25th of June, 2020, and we are in the Metalworks Body Shop Fear Bunker Studio. Let's go!
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station, anywhere.
I will fight you in the street.
It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Yep, a daily show where we cover news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Metalworks Body Shop Fear Bunker Studio. Man, got a lot to talk about today. It's just going to be a fantastic day. All right. Man, oh man. Okay, the Wi-Fi is looking good. I got the fan on in the window, the air conditioner, so the neighbors can't hear me swearing like an idiot. Truth be told, I actually spent a few more dollars on the show because this is a listener-supported podcast and upgraded my internet. So now my upload speeds are faster. It doesn't matter about download speeds. I was at like 100 megabits per second on the download speed. But who cares about downloads? It's what I'm uploading. I was at like 10 megabits per second on the upload speed. And when you're far away from the modem, like I am here in this room, it's compromised. So spent a little money, doubled my upload speed, should not be a problem. The only thing that could happen is just the internet just flat out goes out, which does happen from time to time, but I think we're doing okay. Famous last words, if I had something wood around me, I would knock on it. Oh, I got something. My Eric Zane Show Podcast logo made out of balsa wood. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. And good news, Good freaking news. Again, the way I do this is I got to take what's given to me. You can't change the course of the river. You got to take what's given to you, figure out a way to talk about it, and talk about it. That's what you do. That's what I'm faced with. I don't have a multitude of people to bounce ideas off of. It's a one-man show. And frankly, I'm confident in saying that I can hold my own against anybody, despite doing this from my house, and I'm all alone. I shouldn't say I'm all alone. I've got you people. You are all contributors to the podcast. You send me links. You send me information. You send me interesting things to talk about. I just love that. If you ever want to help the show in a way that is non-monetary, like you're like, well, I don't have any money to spend on Patreon, Zane, that's fine. You can help. If you see something interesting to talk about that's interesting to you, don't wonder if I'll be interested in it. Just send it if you like it. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Copy the link, put it in the body of an email, send it. Hey, Zane, this might be interesting to you. I get shit like that all day long. In fact, a lot of what I talk about on every show is because of people that have sent stuff in. For example, I'm just, that story, no. The Joey Diaz thing, that was sent to me. The Michigan Rona thing, yes, that was sent to me. Brian sent me an email, not Bleeding Heart Brian, but another Brian. You know what, let me just go through what I'm talking about today. First of all, it is the revenge of the Rona. This is so not over. It never was. I don't know who, I never thought that. Hopefully you didn't either. Things are not back to normal. All right? Close to home, where I am at, in the manufacturing backbone of the United States, the great state of Michigan, the patriots here in this great state that wanted to go to the gym today are pissed. Who am I kidding? The patriots don't go to the gym. They go and protest. They wanted to go to the gym today. People wanted to go to the gyms in Michigan today. At 12:01, they were allowed to do that. Not so fast. We'll talk about that. I've got audio and video from yesterday. Hang on. Frog in the throat. Oh, excuse me. I've got audio and video from yesterday's Patreon podcast, listener-supported podcasting, that may have been manipulated to be hilarious. That was sent along by Zaniac Mike. He made a video, manipulated the hell out of it, and it is funny. You can see this. I'll play you the audio for it. It is kind of like something you have to see, but you'll be able to get the idea as to what's happening. Somebody sent in, and I should have these names of the people who sent the stuff in, give you credit. I need to make a habit of that. But comedian Joey Diaz, which I've talked about on the show last couple of days, he speaks out about the canceling attempt on his life. I've got a story that was sent in about a dude who's taken a photo op to a new level of stupidity with a shark. Influencers, people who do stuff for social media all the time, they put themselves in harm's way. This is one of those stories. I've got a show email to read from a concerned citizen. That is another form of contributing to the show. You giving me your thoughts in email form, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. This listener does just that. Name of Brian, not Bleeding Heart Brian, but another Brian. I've got a listener-contributed moment. This one, I think, it was Pellerito who sent it along. A rare, hilarious moment. Who knew that this could be a term? A hilarious moment from a House Judiciary Committee meeting. And who knew about the criminal threats against beekeepers? What? This is all today on the show. But first, for the open, yesterday was full of adventures. And I'm going to start with the adventure of Diana and I heading out to get our blood drawn. as part of this adventure of kidney donation. I'm not going to go through the whole story. You'll have to back up on the podcast to hear what's going on. You can find it. Just, this show, of course, is found on Spotify. And just search Eric Zane Show or wherever you get podcasts, with the exception of iHeart. Okay? I am not on iHeart by design. You can get this full story as how this all came to be. But Diana and I are living donors, trying to be living donors of a kidney for a gentleman that I went to high school with who, long story short, Diana and I are trying to make it so that he can have one of our kidneys. And so we're exploring this right now. Talked to this person quite a bit, and we're in close contact with the organ donation wing of UCLA Medical Center. And so they sent us these very thorough kits to get your blood drawn. And what you do is you go to any area hospital, and all of the material that you need for the blood draw is there, down to the vials, the labels for the vials, the packaging. It's all like, and then the tape that goes over it. It goes into a bag. It goes into a FedEx envelope. You get done with the blood draw, and then you drop it in the FedEx box. And this is all done to determine what blood type you are and to check for tissue compatibility to the possible recipient. No big deal. This is like one of the earliest steps in this whole process. And this whole process takes like a year or more on average. But we committed to it. Want this guy to live. It's like I said, it's a backup in the podcasting if you want to hear how that all unfolded. It's really interesting. It's a flat-out God moment how it all started. Or reach out to me personally, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'll fill you in. But I don't want to go down that road again because it's already been told. Now, when UCLA sends you this material, they sent Diana and I the exact same material. You've got the vials, the labels, the styrofoam packaging that the vials go in. Like I said, the bag that the box goes in, and then you put the whole thing into the FedEx thing. It's all very thorough, and 4 important documents, okay? The first document that I read, and in fact, I remember I got it all, and I said to Diana, and she kind of like cast it aside. I go, hey, and I read every page there that they sent. I go, did you read all that material? She goes, no. I go, well, I think you should. I think you should be very familiar with exactly what they want you to do. And this is days ago, probably like 10 days ago. And it's very simple what it is. And I read it. I read it word for word because this is important. So, and she did too, but apparently it didn't sink in. Huh? What's going on there? Okay. So the first page is your introduction, and it makes it very clear. It's kind of like they give you, all right, there is of the 3 other pages that we sent you, Mr. Eric, one of them is a doctor's note. Another thing is the instruction for the phlebotomist who's going to take your blood with very clear, step-by-step, particular instructions of how they want it done. They want to make sure it's done right the first time. They want to make sure that they have everything set, ready to go, and make it as convenient as possible for the person who is doing the donating, us. So quite literally, you walk in, you hand this packet of papers. They go, looks good. Thank you. Go right in there. That's it. Okay? Now, we have to do it individually. And at the hospital, it's all very, they have their own protocols because of the Rona. So you walk in, lady there, stop. Have you been around anybody that has the Rona? No. Have you been feeling okay? Yes. Do you have a temperature? No. Please put the stuff, the sanitizer on your hand, put your mask on, go over to there. Okay. Diana goes over to the check-in. I have the same conversation with lady at the hospital. All right, put on your mask. Boom. We go up to the lady. Now, I'm not aware I'm only worried about me, okay? Because I've got, you know, the materials that I just discussed with you, and Diana has hers too. So Diana says, yes, I'm here to get the a blood draw for living donor, to be a living donor. And the lady goes, okay, all right. And she seemed a little bit, there seemed to be a little bit of confusion between the two. Now, I'm just standing there like looking at my phone, playing Candy Crush. And I know that everything I have is all right here. And then I hear the lady behind the desk say, she goes, now normally we need a bit of documentation from the physician who wants the blood draw. You can't just come in and say, and she goes, oh, well, yeah, it's and Dinah starts explaining what's going on. And I'm half listening. I'm like, I know there's no problem because it's all, I mean, really thorough as to what UCLA did. And then so I go, hey, you know, while you guys are struggling with this, I'll go ahead and call them to make sure, because I'm under the impression, because of the conversation between these two, that UCLA did not send a doctor's note within that packet, okay? Because they're confused. And I'm like, oh, well, I can't believe this. So I know the lady's name at UCLA. So I call Los Angeles, this lady named Jen. And she's like, I go, hey, Jen, it's, and they know us on first name. I go, this is Eric. So we're getting ready to do the blood draw. And what is, you know, we need a doctor's note. And she goes, well, that's all included. And I go, and I look through and I see it. It's right there. I go, well, yeah, of course it is. Boy, I'm thinking to myself, why are these two, the lady from the hospital and Diana, struggling with this? It says doctor's note right on it. I go, oh, Jen, no problem. And so I show it. I hold it up. I go, are you ladies looking for this? And they go, yeah. But that's your doctor's note. I go, yeah. And I look at Diana. I go, do you not have your doctor's note? She goes, well, I got the envelope and the vials, and I got the bag and the container. I mean, is that not good enough? I go, did you not read this shit? I didn't say shit. I go, I mean, it's spelled out very, 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 very plain words about what the protocol here. It's what's going on. I don't have the paperwork. You know, the fucking paperwork. I don't even have the fucking paperwork. That's the one thing that if you don't have, you don't get your blood drawn. Well, I mean, everything. You gotta have it all. If you don't, why would you get a packet of info and materials and just bring some of it? What the hell? Now, at this point, because I am a wily veteran, I do not raise my eyebrows. I do not passive-aggressive her. I don't. She already feels like a dumbass, and I don't want to embarrass her. Well, no, I want to embarrass her. I want to make her. I want to actually do exactly that. Embarrass the shit out of her for fucking this up when it's so easily done. If you just read it, how could you make this mistake? But I know that if I do that, I am dead. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? And then so I go, well, I'll tell you what, this is Jen's number. I go, hey, you got to call Jen here, and maybe she can help you. And so I get Diana out of line, and then I get in her place, and I go, well, yeah, while she sorts that out, here's all of my stuff, and I'm like, here you go, ma'am. And she goes, oh, thank God, you're good. Okay, check mark, green check mark. Go right in there, Eric. You got this covered. And I hear Diana. She's on the phone. Yeah, Jen. I'm here, and I don't have any of my fucking paperwork because I'm a dunce. So, yeah, you know. And I'm like, shit. So I go into this room where the courtesy blood draw is going to take place, and this lady is just so sweet. She's going to take the blood, and she's giving me hard eyes. You know, I have that issue every time. These women, they just fawn over me. They just love the silver fox. Oh my God! And she's just so sweet. I'm serious. She was in love with Diana and I. I think we could have invited her into the bedroom. Before we continue this, I think we need to bring in the queen of the forest. Hopefully she's not on the walk again. Maybe she is. We need to bring in the queen of the forest to ask her about about. Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, I was just talking about you.
Oh, dear. In a good way or a bad way?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I want you to see if you can figure this out. I mean, in the past 24 hours, I mean, I'm always talking about adventures between us and the dynamic, and people love it when you and I have these fun moments. I don't know how fun this is going to be, but what do you think within the last 24 hours could be on my brain that I'd be talking about on the podcast?
Your jock itch?
No, not my jock itch, which I had a flare-up last night, and boy, I just murdered that thing. Ugh.
That's unfortunate, but let's see. Helping me set up for my party?
I'm probably going to talk about that too, but no. Not that at all. Okay.
What did I do?
Well, I wanted to talk with you about how did it go down that you missed so much information on the blood draw kit?
Oh, for crying out loud. Listen.
Wait, hold on a minute. It's 4 pages, and it's
but
the instructions. It's that's like showing up for a test and you don't have the test. It was really bad.
Right, but see, I looked for them and I couldn't find them for some reason because I think you probably threw them away.
No, I didn't.
And so I figured, well, they can just use yours because it's the same thing.
Yeah, but you just assumed you didn't bring it up. I mean, no one found out about this until you walked up to the check-in and said, "Yeah, I'm here for a blood draw." And they go, "All right, let's have your paperwork." And you're like, "Oh, I don't have any paperwork."
Again, I thought I was able to use yours and double dip.
Now, I was just talking with the audience about how in that weird moment, I did not did I indict you in any way?
No.
Okay, now that
you gave me a look, though. You did give me a look. Oh,
yeah, I wanted to strangle you. I was so annoyed with this because here it is, the first thing we got. This is like the first step of many in this kidney donation thing. And here I am on the phone with the lady at UCLA saying, "Yeah, Diana's confused." And she's like, "It's all there. It's all, we sent everything to you."
No.
Well, then when I was talking to her, she said, "No, I sent you a doctor's note." And I go, "You're right, Jen. I do have a doctor's note." And then I said, "They sent me a doctor's note. Do you not have your doctor's note?" And you said, "I left it at home. I didn't think I needed it."
Yeah, that did happen.
Now, it turns out that you somehow were able to, when you did talk to Jen, she was able to get you all those documents. Is that right?
That is correct. She faxed them.
Okay, so you got it all done. We then got the blood drawn together, which was terrible. I think you actually handled that better than I did. It was very painful. I hated it.
Oh my God, you could barely feel it.
No, I could feel it. I think I could actually feel every drop of blood leaving my body. The whole
You are so weird.
No, it was bad. I could not stand that. As good of a phlebotomist as she was, it was, oh God, do I hate that. Can you imagine? I mean, if I can't even handle the blood draw, how bad it would be if they had to actually, if we're lucky enough to have them take a kidney. I mean, seriously, that is, which by the way, I told my dad about that yesterday.
You did?
Yeah, because do you remember when we were in line and he called? Well,
oh yeah.
I picked it up because I'm always scared something bad's happened.
Right.
So I go, "Hey, Dad, can I call you back?" He goes, "Where are you?" He always wants to know where I am. I go, I'm at the hospital." "What? Why?" I go, "It's a long story. I'm getting some blood drawn." "Oh my God!" So he's panicked. I call him back later on in the day. He goes, "Why were you at the hospital?" And, he's going to find out sometime. So I go, well, Dad, I was just getting a test done. I was getting my blood drawn because Diana and I are going to donate a kidney. And he's like, oh, man, he did not take that well. He
didn't?
No. He is very concerned about our wealth. Well, what if you need them both? What if yours? What if you lose? I'm like, it's not quite as it's a very rare thing to have this happen, Dad. At age 50, I'm strong as a freaking horse. Healthy as a horse, I think is how they say that. Not strong as a horse.
Ox.
Strong as an ox, healthy as a horse. So, I've done my research, Dad. So, he's trying to talk me out of it is what he's trying to do. So I'm like, that's why I didn't want to tell you, because you're going to try to talk me out of it.
Right.
All right. So,
it should be, I think the new saying should be healthy as a tortoise.
Because they like live a long time?
They live to like 150.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you think about how dynamic a horse is and how it the grace and strength of it, I think is more of what it is. I mean, a tortoise is a slow moving it doesn't you don't really think of them as a yes, they're healthy because they live so long, but I mean, you got to wonder about the how great those years are as they just sit there and they don't move for like a decade at a time.
That's probably why they're so healthy, because they don't really exert themselves too much.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to go down the road of the of what it is right now, but okay.
Well, it just popped in my head.
So, I wanted to run. Do you think that now we had that young lady that was drawing the blood, I think she was giving me hard eyes.
I don't think she was.
I think she was. I think she was giving you hard eyes. In fact, I think that we could have invited her into the bedroom.
Eric, stop. Listen, she probably was the sweetest. If I ever had to get like blood drawn regularly, I'd go to her and specifically request her, because she was the best. For me, bedside manners and making it fun. I don't want to say fun, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, she was very jovial and friendly and sweet, and I think she wanted to give you bedside manners on your actual bedside is what I think she wanted. I think she was kind of into you and me. No? If you could see her right now, she's just looking at me with disgust in her face. She goes, are you going to continue to go down this road? I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about being spot? You all right over there? What the hell happened?
Excuse me.
Yeah. How can someone who's not actually drinking something and just sitting still,
No.
How can something go down the wrong pipe when
you're? Do you know how sometimes I get a horker? Is that what they're called?
I know what you're talking about. It's just like phlegm.
Yeah.
Jizz.
Not jizz, but phlegm.
Okay. So what do you think about Baldwin Ace Hardware being your sponsor? Like this moment in time is brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. Like Diana, Diana is brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, they actually sponsored you.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Okay. So, I've got you sponsored. Benny, the one-eyed wonder dog, is sponsored by A&D Cleaning. And then O'Neill is sponsored by Irvine's Auto Repair. Bruce is sponsored by Grand Rapids Hybrid.
Look at Daisy right now.
Oh, my God. I have to show this to the audience.
Oh, she's rolling over.
Oh, shoot. Damn it. Oh, I was going to grab the iPad and lift it. She was laying right on her back with her feet in the air. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So going forward on the whole kidney thing, could you maybe, let me ask you this. Did you forget the documents? Did you say, I don't need them, or could you not find them? What is it?
I couldn't find them.
And so you assumed without telling anyone Why didn't you tell me? Because I would have helped you. You know, we could have gotten a hold of Jen, so it wouldn't have been when we were right at the order window.
Because I told you, I just thought that I could use yours. Because I didn't, it was just the instructions, and it's the same thing.
No, well, yeah, but you weren't aware that there was a doctor's note or anything like that, or you just, I don't know. I mean, it was addressed to me. I mean,
I know that, but I didn't think.
Yeah,
well, in hindsight, yeah.
Yeah, this is kidney donation. This isn't a fucking Meyer 2-for-1 sale. It's not like they're gonna go, yeah, 1 kidney, 2 kidneys, who cares?
Can I go back to my coffee now? I'm done with you.
Whatever. Yeah, just kidney.
Okay, bye.
We're just going to get 2 and play the fucking shell game with them, and then we'll just put it in and hope that it sticks. I mean, this isn't a stupid
Dickhead.
game.
Hey.
I mean, you got to have some degree
of...
Yeah, what?
I'm hanging up now.
All right. I love you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya. So I just found that to be ridiculous. That the look on my face, if you could have just have seen the look on my face when I realized on our first real thing that we had to do, get the blood drawn to determine compatibility on the kidney, and she's there with her fucking head up her ass. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that one, too. All right. The open of the Eric Zane Show Podcast in all of its glory is brought to you by the Kent County Health Department. Boy, it's been quite a 2020 for those guys. Yikes. They have a website, accesskent.org. Now, some of you folks are like, man, what the hell am I going to do at the health department? Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, they have 4 COVID testing stations strategically located throughout the community. You can get more information at the website. If you think you got the Rona, go there. They'll take care of you. You need more info? Call them, 616-632-7100. They are asking me to remind you that this pandemic is far from over. Don't be an asshole. They didn't ask me to say that, but I'm adding that because it's a podcast and I can get away with it. Cough into your elbow, please. Stay socially distant. Wear a mask. And I'm adding this one. Don't use the mask as like, oh, I'm not wearing a mask because I'm a shit-kicking Republican. Quit being a dick and wear your mask, idiot. And if you can, avoid those public places unless you really got to go out. Michigan is not done with this, and you can just look around at some of the west and south and southwest states to see that it's back like you wouldn't believe. It never left. And we don't want that to happen again. I want to keep this squashed down as much as possible because I still like the freedoms that we have that are slowly being introduced. All right, I'm already going off on a rant on this. Also, if you need to utilize the WIC program at any time, coronavirus or not, you pay into it, use it when you need it. 616-632-7200. Put you in touch with somebody who can help you out. As I mentioned on the show, we have a house cleaning service. This would be a great gift for somebody, especially your better half. If I ever piss Diana off enough, I can get her back in my good graces by getting the house cleaned by A&D Cleaning. You really want to go the extra mile and working your way towards getting anal. You can hire them once a week. They won't give you anal, but your wife might. A&D Cleaning at 616-550-3644. Never in my life did I think I would be giving an advertisement saying, hey, if you hire these folks, your wife might give you anal. So stupid. A&D Cleaning, they are fully insured. They have everything that they need with them. You don't need to leave anything out. You don't need to leave the vacuum ready to go. Fully insured, ready to clean your home. Reach out to Amy Porter at 616-550-3644 today for A&D Cleaning, official sponsor of Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. And, of course, Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Working on doing a tech show with Blue Frost IT. That's going to be fun. If you have a small or a medium-sized business and you do not have tech support backup, what are you doing? Well, I can't afford that, Zane. I'm just a mom and pop. I know that. But these guys are your tech support for a lot less than you think, okay? Reach out to them for a quote, 616-200-8550 or bluefrostit.com. They sponsor my Twitter. The live stream on Twitter is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. All right. Speaking of live stream, I guess I should make sure now, 43 minutes into the show, that I'm actually on. I am. All right. Thanks to you all on the live stream for watching the show as it goes live. I've been noticing in the past, most of the viewers of the live stream on whatever platform was like people who followed the show or liked it on Facebook. Now we're getting more and more people who have no idea who I am, just getting it like, you know what, this isn't bad, or this is real shitty. I want to watch this train wreck more. Thank you. If you are enjoying it live, we do it every day at about 8 a.m., Monday through Friday, right here, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. By the way, one more thing. I had talked to you about how on YouTube, in order to make any money on YouTube, it's not like the old days where you just throw a video up and then you can start cashing the checks. YouTube has changed things quite a bit. And one of the things that you have to have is, first of all, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to your YouTube page. I have 5,340. Green check mark. Thank you. So if you are on YouTube, if you ever are, just go to Eric Zane Show and subscribe to my page. It really does help me. I get an internet point, and I want to keep it above 1,000. I probably won't have a problem ever keeping that. The other thing is you must have 4,000 public watch hours, okay? Now, for these big shots, they get that in like a minute. But for a ham and egg or asshole like me, I beg, borrow, steal for every minute of viewer time. Once you get to 4,000 hours, though, they send you an email and say, Eric, you're growing. We can monetize your content. We're going to put an ad for whatever, and then we're going to, at the end of the month, cut you a check for like 96 cents. So, you know, if you like watching the podcast live, do me a favor. And also watch it on YouTube, okay? You can open up another window and just mute it or whatever you need to do. You're creative. Figure it out, and you can watch some of my shit. And then it can help in keeping the show alive in what is a 100% listener-supported podcast. You might say, Zane, you got sponsors. They support you. Yeah, I know. But if I don't have the listeners supporting me and the sponsors, I'm dead in the water. So I'd like to keep it going for as long as I can. Okay. So far around this house this week, it has been, man, I have just been given my marching orders by the women in this house. As you know, I do that quite a bit, pick my battles. Rarely do I offer any resistance. If I do, it's simply just kicking the can down the road for the inevitable to happen. Case in point, Jacob Bennett will be at the house today to give me the estimate on my install for the flooring. Remember I told you I'm going to kick that can down the road as far as I can, and then I'm finally going to go, all right, wave the white flag. That's the way I work. Some things, so you can't do that. Diana approaches me on Monday. I was washing the car, and she's and they're working. She goes, I got some bad news. No, this isn't what she said. She goes, hey, don't be mad at me. I've got something I have to tell you. I go, what? And I'm like, please don't be something terrible. I'm always like, does that ever happen in your world? Somebody says to you, I got something I got to tell you. And you're thinking, oh, she's going to leave me. She got double stuffed by a couple of dudes because, and she's been doing that her whole marriage. Whatever, something terrible. Somebody's gonna die. I'm waiting for this information. I'm like, well, I'm on a ladder washing the roof of the vehicle when it happens. I'm like, well, hang on, let me get down. And she goes, we're hosting a bridal shower. I go, oh, okay, cool. You're not mad? I go, mad? I mean, what the hell? I don't care. I mean, no, whatever. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'll do everything. You don't need to help with a thing. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I know that. Right. I better help you. I know I'm going to help you set this damn thing up. And I go, no problem. Yeah, do your thing. Bridal shower. We got this beloved friends of the family whose daughter's getting married, like Jackie's age. She's getting married. And so they were going to have this big bridal shower at some clubhouse. But the Rona, because you can't meet like a certain number of people indoors in Michigan. And so the clubhouse associated with this neighborhood said, no way, you can't do it. So this shoots the plans down. You know, this young person's freaking out. You know how bridezillas are. They lose their mind. So, you know, they had to keep her from throwing herself out of the window. And they go, no, it's all right. And Dinah says, have it at our house. We'll have it on the deck outside of the pool. And the backyard is nice. We got a nice backyard. It's landscaped really sweetly, and this is back during the days when I was making the NHL money, and so it looks great. And you know, now truth be told, someone's probably gonna padlock the front door before too long if I don't get more people on Patreon. But that's another story. But the backyard is nice. You can host a party there. It's great. So Diana says, you have it at our house. And they're like, oh, thank you. And then she tells me, I go, oh, that's great. That's very kind of you to do that. Yesterday, I show up. I was in my garage. I shot that video because I've got a noose in my garage, and I'm really offended by that. You may have seen that on Facebook. I went for a run, come back home, and in my backyard, the area ladies that we have known forever are just working their asses off. They're pulling weeds, they're sweeping, and oh my God, it's going down. They are getting this place ready. And I go, all right, if I ignore this, I'm dead. Okay? They're all going to kill me. I go outside, and the queen of the forest is there. Our dear friend Sherry, our dear friend Janine, they're two of the blondes, all these blonde Dutch friends of ours. And they're looking at me all hot, and they got this tough-ass look on their face like, you fucker, you better come help us. Yeah, get your ass out. I can feel myself being judged. I'm like, hey. And then I announce myself. I go, hey, I'm here to help. And I feel their eyes that were beady and shooting lasers into me kind of like lighten up a little, like, oh, he's hot again. Oh, yeah, come help us. So I'm like, hey, honey, what do you want me to do? You know? She goes, oh, there's that big pile of wood you left when you cut the tree down. Can you get that up? Pick that up? I go, yeah, of course, man, yes. That's why I'm here. Diana knows better. She's like, you're just here because you're saving face. And I'm like, fuck yes, I am. I go there and picking up all this wood. And this is an area of the yard that the dogs take a dump. And they shouldn't, because this area is where we entertain people. The dogs should not be wandering onto the decorative small rocks and taking dumps that are the same color as the rocks. First of all, that makes cleanup tough. You got to do it by smell. If you've ever walked around this area, you're looking down and you don't see any turds, but there's turds everywhere. And you just go, there's turds here. Holy crap. But I can't see them because they all look like rocks. So you got to get like down low and really investigate this. So I go down. I thought you said you picked up the crap. She, I did. I go, well, no, it's everywhere, man. I mean, seriously, it's here. I'm trying to pick up these sticks and stuff, and I'm concerned about all of the turds around me. And she goes, I did it. Shut up. So I go, all right, no problem. Hey, I want to do it. I want to do this. So I pick it all up, and so that was it. And then as I'm back to doing the first job, I'm like, I still smell it. This is bad. So I'm like by nose, toucan, follow your nose, looking around, can't see it, but I know it's there somewhere. And I go, maybe it's all just in my head, and maybe it's just a little bit of chunkage residue that's just buried in the decorative stone. No big deal. I'll be done with this job soon, and then I can go do something else. And then it happens. All of the turds that I had been picking up were dry. But the one that my hand went into fully was as much like snack pack pudding as it possibly could be. There wasn't a degree of consistency to it. There's more consistency in a bucket of water, because my hand, it went right into it. And I went, oh, for God's sake. And it had probably been there for like 20 minutes because it was cool. It wasn't a hot steamer. It was a cool pile of pudding, brown, same color as a rock shit. And it went right in there. And in my mind, when I pulled my hand back in revulsion, it went, it made like a noise. And I pulled my hand back, and it was like, okay, you got your pinky, ring, and middle finger. Each fingertip had what amounted to, you ever like make cookies and you use those semi-sweet morsels, not the real little ones, but the regular sized ones? I have 3 size turd morsels on the end of those hands. So I'm holding up, I'm holding my index finger with my thumb. You can see how I'm holding it. And I go, Diana, I knew when I got roped into this, I knew I was going to have to do this work, but you did agree to pick up the poo. You didn't pick it up, so I pick it up. And then while picking it up, I didn't pick it all up, so I guess it's kind of on me too, or I wasn't able to find it. But now look it. And I go walking up to her, and I go, look at what happened. And she starts gagging. She goes, She sounded, what's that clip I have of the kid that's like dry heaving? Remember? Oh, God. Where is it? Yes, this one. That's what Diana sounded like. Oh, hey, honey, look. No, seriously. Get it up close. Look at, I'm like, I don't want to touch my face with the hand, but even though I've obviously cleaned it. So, all right, that's it. I go walking into the house holding my hand like this with shit on my fingertips. Cold shit. Wasn't that a song by Kiss, Cold Shit? Or was that Cold Gin? It's cold shit time again. Go into the house, wash it off. And then, you ever notice that, like, if you ever get shit on your hand, how you like can't wash it enough. And so I'm like washing, and then I rinse, and then I wash again and again and again, and I'm concerned that it's actually under the nail bed, and it's just so bad. I will never chew the nails on these 3 fingers again. And then what do I do when it's all washed off? To make sure, you got to give it the smell test, right? You have to do this. So then and in my brain, I smelled it. I could actually smell turd. But I'm convinced I was just tricking myself. Preparing for the bridal show. Or for the bridal shower. I wrote show. The show plan. Let me change it. Because I'll say it again. So we got our tents up. There's going to be 30, 40 people here. No doubt a coronavirus outbreak. And I actually said, hey, are we breaking any rules by doing this party? They go, nope. Outside, you're good. 100 and under. Joey Diaz, the comic, speaks. I'm not going to play the whole thing. His show is, he did a video podcast. It's 25 minutes. I'll link it up, though, for you to check it out. Some of you people love Joey Diaz. In this clip, actually, I found it all right. I think his matter-of-fact way of describing, I'm only going to play you a bit of it, about 2 minutes of it. If you've been following the show for the last couple of days, I've been covering the story. People tried to cancel this fucker. And as you know, I said, bullshit, no way, he shouldn't be canceled. And by the way, some people have been making points to me, specifically Dirk and Patriot Nick. I hate to admit it. Have been they've been continuing to beat me up and send me evidence about slippery slope. I realize I'm tangenting off here, but that's kind of the nature of the beast and how I talk. And I'm starting to come around to the idea about slippery slope problems. About how if you start to ban flags and tear down statues, you could be opening up a Pandora's box. And the one thing in particular that stuck with me was a young lady who has a video of her. I should probably send that along and play it. I don't know. I don't want to do it now. I'll have to come back to it maybe on Patreon. About the whole concept about slippery slope, when you start ripping down statues, you could lead to the next thing of giving in. And I've never, ever believed in slippery slope, but I'm starting to because as we have been seeing the statues come down, I'm starting to see more and more going in directions toward that by left-leaning people, and it's starting to bother me and make me uneasy. Sean King is talking about destroying all depictions of white Jesus. And And so this is starting to show evidence of that, and I'm not liking it. I'm not comfortable with that. So I might be rethinking this and coming up with a modified opinion. I'm not sure. I'm still contemplating and thinking. Is that okay to you? What do you think about that? I think we're starting to live in a day and an age when we're bombarded by information. Is it all right and acceptable to process, reassess, and come up with a viewpoint that might be modified? How do you feel like about that? Some people like, I don't know, man. It's you either got to be all in or all out, or you can't rethink it, you can't waffle. I don't think it's waffling. I think it's rethinking. I'm not saying I'm totally, like, for example, I still feel like that statue, some of these statues need to come down, or at least move them to a museum. But I'm also concerned about the idea about slippery slope. You know? I don't know how I got on that. But when it comes to, it was Joey Diaz, when it comes to this, first of all, when Diaz said the bit 9 years ago when he was talking about what he did to that chick, it was weird. I just myself was uncomfortable with the concept of the comedy, but that doesn't matter. That's just not my style of comedy. That has nothing to do with it, though. Just because I find a particular form of entertainment not entertaining, his that type of act, that type of bada boom, bada bing, tough guy act, it's kind of I'm a little over that. But that's just a personal preference. That has nothing to do with how I feel about anything, really. And sure as shit doesn't mean the guy should be canceled. We talked about yesterday how some of the people that have rushed to his side when the world tried canceling him, including a lot of female comedians rushed to his side. And one male comedian said, you know, most of that shit isn't even true. You know, and he's full of shit. And that didn't even happen that way. I linked it all up yesterday. Again, go back and find it on your own if you want more information. But this is Diaz himself for a couple of minutes yesterday. This goes on for about 25 minutes. I'll link it up. You can watch it on your own. It's linked up in the news of ericzaneshow.com or in the show notes of the audio podcast.
We ready? What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey here on Wanted Dead or Alive Night on Instagram Live. You understand me? We got a couple things to talk about. First of all, thank you for all the overwhelming support and the love. I ain't no angel, but I ain't no fucking saint either, whatever. But you guys know where my heart is at all times and whatnot. I want to thank the church family, you know, whoever listens to JRE, who's got our back. Thank you very much. For starters, we ain't going nowhere. But let's get down to business here. Number one, I want to thank the ladies of comedy who are taking a stand. I am not mad at you at all. It's gotten out of control. You guys have heard different things, so I cannot be mad at you. I encourage you to keep on your stand. You calling people that I've taken on the road to find out dirt, whether I do drugs or whatever, that I don't understand. The calls from the other little comics that are calling around and torturing women that I've known personally, that I don't understand.
Yeah, they're trying to cancel the women that support him, that actually know the guy. So you got various female comedians that said, this is bullshit. You can't cancel Uncle Joey. I've known him forever. These are women talking about him, saying, that. And so the ones that are trying to cancel him are indicting those women. That's what he's talking about. By the way, these long pauses, he's hitting a cigarette, and he's just hotboxing it. And the breathing you hear, that's him. This guy he's lived a hard life. It's you're worried about canceling Joey Diaz. Don't worry, because the good Lord's probably going to cancel this dude before too long, because he lives hard.
Listen, you're on a
taking these huge drags.
Podcast.
Hold on, let me back it up.
Women that I've known personally, that I don't understand. Listen, you're on a podcast.
Taking a hit.
You're talking shit. You're in the fucking heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Nobody knows until you're in a podcast, and you're trying to.
All right, now I know exactly what he's talking about. When you're on the radio and you're trying to move the meter, you're gonna make shit up. You're gonna say shit all the time. You're gonna try to do something that can get a reaction. I mean, that's why I do what I do. I do it for that, and that is how my bread has been buttered since I was a little boy. Now I can't get as big of a reaction as Joey Diaz, because this fucker says shit that I would not say. So he is going to get a bigger reaction. And frankly, the bigger the reaction, the bigger the career. Joey Diaz is a very prominent comedian. I don't even, he doesn't even know the fuck I am. So, there you go. The proof is, I guess, there. Now, but I'm not comfortable in doing what he does. So, I'll just take what I can get doing what I can do. But I do know that feeling. I have felt pressure on the radio to, maybe I should say this. So what he's about to go into, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Funny. That podcast was taped in 2010 before we knew podcasts were going to go anywhere. Who the fuck knew they were going to go anywhere? So I tell a story on a podcast. Now, when I got into podcasting, what happened was we went on there. We thought it was radio. And one day I told the story about mugging a hooker and lighting her wig on fire. And next thing you know, I got a rise. I got a reaction. I got a reaction because I was telling the truth about something.
Now, I kind of want to hear that story. Of mugging a hooker and lighting her wig on fire. Now, that probably didn't even happen, but fuck it. It's funny.
People don't usually talk about it. I don't give a fuck. I grew up in North Bergen, New Jersey, Northern New Jersey, New York, and we went out at night. I got a fucking life. But on the other hand, let's start from the beginning here. I was raised by a single mom.
All right.
She was hot. She had a bar.
Who says his mom? Who says that their mom is hot? So, all right, I'll bet you there are people that are listening to this podcast right now who heard that and went, I kind of like that guy. I like what he's saying. I like his style. Well, that's why he's a prominent comic. So there you go, Joey Diaz. Joey, Uncle Joey, you look up D-I-A-Z, you'll find him. Everybody knows who the hell he is, I guess. I'm trying to explain where he is like he's tough to find. You'll find him, and I'll link it up. You can watch that whole damn thing if you're interested. But that's he's described as uncancelable. That might be what you have to do if you are. Anybody ever tries canceling you. I frankly don't know if I have the nerve to plant a flag. Like when I posted that meme about that fucking Bubba Wallace thing, and people tried to cancel me by reaching out to the Illiches and the DeVosses about that hilarious meme that I posted, and it was funny. And yesterday, people tried to cancel me by reaching out to those people and calling me, of all people, a racist. I don't have the nerve to keep it up there and plant a flag. I'm just not cut from that cloth. This guy does. But I mean, I guess maybe he doesn't have anything to lose. I actually have something to lose. No, he definitely has something to lose. I just can't do it. I don't have the nerve. All right. Go Metal Works Body Shop. Like, what is that from, Zane? That is a callback to a syndicated weekly radio show called Metal Shop. It's a 1-hour show with Charlie the Butcher Kendall. Hey, I'm Charlie the Butcher Kendall, and this is Metal Shop. And I used to run the board at Z93, and I'd get the CD in the mail from the butcher, and I'd put it into the CD player, and it would start Metal Shop. I'm Charlie the Butcher Kendall with Metal Shop. This week on Metal Shop, we're going to hear from Ugly Kid Joe and Warrant, and finish the show with Whitesnake and an interview I did with David Coverdale. Metal Shop. Metal Works Body Shop. All right. Now they do, they work on boats, they work on cars. I'm going to bring the Z71 off-road over there after I get it from my dad. But they don't want me to talk about that. I mean, they do. You can hire them for that, but the big thing they do is when your drunken ass this weekend tries to back the travel trailer into the spot at the state park campground because they're open now, and you hit the fucking fee pipe and your shit is all mangled because you're a dumb dick who doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to backing that nice travel trailer in place, then what you do is you call Metal Works Body Shop. If you, they're a business in Coopersville, Michigan. I almost said Michigan. Coopersville, Michigan. Ryan owns the joint. Fran used to own the joint. Ryan bought the joint off Fran, and now Fran works for Ryan. All right? Now, I don't know the particulars. I don't know if Fran fucked it all up and then Ryan had to bail his ass out. I'll have to get to the bottom of that. But these two fuckers are amazing. And I walk in there, and there's I see pictures. They got like this big before and after thing of this fifth wheel that looks like a tornado hit it. And I'm like, holy shit, do you have this here to show something that you can't fix? Because there's no way you fix it. They go, no, you dumb dick. Look at this picture next to it. And it's like, well, wait a minute. That's like the day they bought it, right? They go, no, that's the day after we fixed it. I go, what the fuck? Are you serious? Oh my God, this is incredible. So, and they're the only ones that do it. There's no other place in town that does this. So they want me to tell you about it. Metal Works Body Shop. When you ruin your rig, your RV, your travel trailer, fifth wheel, camper, whatever it is, and you're pissed off because you spent good money on it, you want it to look nice, your family thinks you suck, get that thing fixed at Metal Works Body Shop in Coopersville, Michigan. Click on their logo. Looks just like that. The one over my shoulder, Metal Works Body Shop on EricZaneShow.com. Takes you right to their Facebook page. I go, don't you want me to link your website? They go, no, link up the Facebook page. It shows all the before and after photos. I go, whatever. Why don't you put those on your website? No, shut up. All right, you're the boss. But they do have a website, metalworksbodyshop.com. Thank you to them. Just west of there in Muskegon on the lakeshore, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, established in 1987, NMLS number 3035. There are all sorts of Van Dyke mortgages spread out throughout the United States. But only one person thought, hey, I want to get on your podcast and get behind you. And I'm like, you win. You're the mortgage guy. By the way, I need a builder. I need a plumber. I need an electrician. Okay? If you are a builder, a plumber, or an electrician, or you know anybody that does these three things, reach out to me. Okay? Special treatment if you're a lady builder, a lady plumber, or a lady electrician, because you don't see them in those industries that often. So if you're a lady in any of those industries, you get half off on your ad campaign. I'm just telling you right now. Verbal promise. If not, dudes, you pay full price. But anyway, this is not an electrician, plumber, or builder. This is a mortgage guy. He's my mortgage guy. And I want you to call him because I trust him, and he's going to do a good job for you with his staff. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I love these people. They reached out to me when I'm trying to build my podcast, and they help make me a believer along with you that I can do this shit every single day and not miss a beat and not have to worry about a stupid-ass radio show or some dickhead fucking redheaded boss telling me what to do. I can sit here and do this no problem. So they're part of that great group that's done that. If you need a mortgage, I want you to call on Mario, 231-332-6505. You might have a refi, getting some money out of your property. You might be looking for just another mortgage. You've had many. You've got great credit, or you're struggling. Bankruptcy, divorce, weren't good with your money. Mario can get you in a loan, and if he can, he's going to tell you what you need to do to get into a loan. He really works with you. He's kind of like a financial advice dude, almost, because he's like, nah, dude, your credit is in the dumper. Yeah, you've lived poorly up to this point, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. If you listen to me, I can make it so you stop paying rent, all right? But you got to listen to me. Trust Mario. I trust Mario. You should too. Thank you. All right. The Rona surge. Young people are going out in droves, and they're getting sick. We don't know if they're going to die. It's going to take some time. A couple weeks. If this spikes throughout the United States, you know that that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the after effects of days like yesterday where, people are walking around saying, oh, man, I'm glad we got that in the rearview mirror. And then 44,000 Americans are diagnosed with COVID-19 yesterday. Okay, we had a previous record about 39,000 a couple of months ago. But that was when the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, I think, were the epicenter. The epicenter has moved now to a much bigger space area of land. The South, the Southwest, and the West are getting murdered. And I don't want to sit here and preach to you about what has happened and why. I do want to talk to you about what has happened, but I'm not going to sit here and say this is what you did wrong because I'm no expert. But they are saying that a lot of the cases are young people in their 20s, and a lot of these folks are going out to bars. There was just a case in our great state of Michigan, the number one state in the United States, the industry backbone. We build things here, but not for long if we can't go to work. Bunch of young people at a bar in Lansing, Michigan. First 19 people sick after a weekend event there. Then 25 people sick that were there. Then they tracked it down as of last night, 35 people there. That's how it works. Diana and I went out to eat earlier this week. And first time in months that we've actually gone to a restaurant. There is we want to try this sushi place downtown Grand Rapids. See how those, there's still a lot of remnants of that riot that took place from the George Floyd thing. All the windows are boarded up and artists have painted nice decorative things on the plywood. Hell, if I'm an owner of the business, I'm like, shit, I want my windows back. I love your mural, but we're going to have to set that up for art prize or something. I'm going to put some windows in here. We went out. It was a little weird. It was socially distant at this sushi place downtown called Atto, A-T-O. And not bad. It wasn't Sakura level. A little less expensive, but I give it let's see. I give it an 82. 82%, 83%. Maybe a B minus. Okay? Sakura's A+ every time. We're going. So we went out and, all the precautions. Mask in, mask when I'm in there, a mask on my face, eat the food, hand sanitize, leave. All right. The idea, though, freaks me out about people milling around in a social setting. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. With Texas now, more than 6,000 people sick yesterday. Florida, more than 5,000 people sick yesterday. These states did open early, and they did turn on the spigot quite quickly. Now, every state is different, I realize. I just want you to understand, moving to this topic about my great state of Michigan, if you would just open your ears for just a brief moment, and I'm speaking directly to people that hate everything about Whitmer and what she's done. If you would just for a second hear me out and then go back to being an ignorant fuck, okay? So I need like 1 minute of your time. And because too many of you think that it's about your freedom, but it isn't. It's about, I know you're going to sound like a broken record, but it's about keeping you safe. It has nothing to do with politics. There are people who are watching this right now who think that she actually wants businesses to die so that the state can be completely nosedived financially, economically. They actually think that she wants people's lives to be ruined. Now, what they're not even considering is that if financially the state is not viable, it affects everyone, and they would be ruined. And then she, in turn, would be ruined. That would be a complete failure economically. So there's no way anybody in their right mind would want that. But too many people are blinded by political beliefs to think anything but that. And that's a shame. Okay? She has, in the face, though I am a Republican, but a clear-thinking one, in the face of all the patriots threatening her life on a regular basis, has not wavered one fucking bit. She is a tough-ass lady who has done this, and the idea behind what Whitmer has done is a phased-in turning on of the faucet, knowing full well it could wind up like these states that are experiencing issues, but it's buying time, okay? And eventually we will have a vaccine, and then this will be a thing of the past. And it is a fact that during pandemics, not just this one, staggered openings lead to more viability economically more quickly, as opposed to turning it on full blast and then shutting it off again, which we're seeing now. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Now, I'm not making the shit up, and I'm also I'm basically plagiarizing it from historic facts that have actually happened. I just have stored it all up here and want you to know that this is the correct thing to do. In addition, too many people are suggesting the argument is, well, if Meijer's open, why can't the barber shop be open? Stupid. It all goes back to, it doesn't matter if she opened barbershop first and then this other business first. She doesn't care, as long as they open up in a staggered way, okay? The latest gyms. The gyms have wanted to open. We played the clip of that dickhead in Kentwood who said, fuck it, I'm opening up. Yeah, man, that's it. I know what's up. If it's about freedom, I'm a patriot. Ugh. All that shit. I hate all that. It's not about your freedom, dickhead. It's about what I just talked about. Now, I realize a lot of you who listen to this think, oh, there's Zane talking shit again, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about on this. And you do too, deep down inside. It has nothing to do with your freedom. It has to do with keeping you healthy, is what and other people healthy, who are more vulnerable than you. So, Whitmer wanted in the staggered opening the gyms to open July 4. Okay? In theory. She can also extend it if she does it the way she wants to, because she's got this executive order in place, state of emergency to the middle of July. If July 4th comes, she could actually go, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to extend that. But she was hoping for July 4th, and she could just continue the staggered opening. It's been working just fine. You look at Michigan, they've seen dramatically less cases. It's been a textbook decrease and a wonderful job by all, though it's still a struggle because Michigan had, like I said, 350 cases yesterday. So it's not over. This is not over. Well, a judge said, screw you, Whitmer. They can open Thursday, today, at 12:01. Uh-oh. Some of you may have gone to the gym today and noticed it was closed. That's because she didn't give up, and she kicked their ass, and she took it to a United States Circuit Court of Appeals, a 3-panel federal judge panel, all Republicans, 1 appointed by Trump, 2 appointed by Bush in this story, and they agreed with her. They said, yeah, you're right. You do have the power. Gyms remain closed. Aha!
Morning. It's been a back-and-forth battle between Governor Whitmer and gyms looking to...
This dude starts doing a report as a train there.
...reopen today. We're actually outside of a Planet Fitness here in Plymouth, where I imagine there are probably a lot of people in this community who are hoping to show up here, but the U.S. Appeals Court agrees that coronavirus could put lives at risk. We also spoke with some disappointed members over outside of Gold Gym in Warren.
I am surprised because I'm trying to understand
what it is. It's an example of the idiot that I talked about. And I understand there's probably less than half of you that are enjoying this podcast that agree with me. But this is an example of a moron who doesn't understand what I just explained. It doesn't make sense to him. And no matter how much logic you give to somebody as stupid as this is, they will not follow with the whole concept.
To understand what is the legal stance on this when you look at that you have other places that are open and you're telling certain like the gym you can't open, but I can't understand what's the difference.
Tula Cabone, a member of Gold's Gym in Warren, expressing his disappointment over Wednesday evening's ruling.
Is his name To Lick a Bone? Is that what he said? That's a PA prank name. To Lick a Bone?
I can't understand what's the difference.
Tula Cabone, a member of Gold's Gym in Warren, expressing his disappointment over Wednesday evening's ruling from a panel of judges that gyms and fitness centers cannot reopen today. It reverses a lower court's decision that had allowed gyms to reopen. It's an ongoing legal battle between Governor Whitmer and gym owners.
You go to Myers, you go to Walmart, you go to even massage parlors or strip clubs, they're open. Dispensary. We need the gym. So I'm definitely against it.
Strip clubs and dispensaries are open. Now I need the gym.
Health is your wealth, man. Your health is your wealth.
The governor's office noted one of the judges that ruled in her favor was nominated by President Donald Trump and 2 by former President George W. Bush, granting her request that gyms remain closed in southern Michigan because of COVID-19.
Yeah, she pointed that out so that, when someone says, hey, what the fuck, she can just have like a picture of Trump and say, he did it. Scoreboard. It's his fault. You better go talk to him. He appointed the judge that agreed with me, so I don't know. It's out of my hands. Just pass the buck. That's what I do.
Her spokesperson says, today, 3 Republican-appointed judges got it right. In the fight against a global pandemic,
just a rude person you are.
Governors broad latitude to make quick, difficult decisions. The governor will continue to take the actions necessary to save lives, end quote. Now, again, the governor has mentioned that she would like to move into phase 5 by July 4th. But again, as she stated all along, she will take a close look at the data and listen to public health officials. This morning, I'm live in Plymouth. Darren Cunningham, 7 Action News.
Oh, my God. When it comes to, she hasn't even been in office 2 years. And frankly, leading up to the pandemic, she didn't do shit. She did nothing but annoy the shit out of me. And I won't vote for her, as you know. But my God, is she doing a hell of a job. If you disagree, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear you, and I don't want to hear the same old shit that's been said 8 million times. I want you to really try to make me see the light, okay? Explain to me logically, other than using words like freedom and patriot. Seriously, I want to hear from you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I see I've got to get to an email from Dirk. Not sure what this is about. I don't want to get into here. It says subject line COVID fear-mongering, and he sent me a link that I will have to unpack. He thinks it could all just be fear-mongering. And the subject of it says antibody tests point to lower death rate for the coronavirus than first thought. And if that's the case, I'm happy. That would be awesome. I am certainly hopeful that it is what some people are thinking, and I will review that around. Okay. Tim writes, subject line, things you won't hear in the same sentence. 1, winning with grace. 2, Eric Zane. Thank you, Tim. You know I love you. He also adds, hey, Zane, I'm super excited to hear that you've cured COVID. I can only assume that you've cured COVID because why else would you spend nearly 5 hours of face-to-face time with your 86-year-old dad and his wife, Joanne? We were socially distant. Shut up. We had masks. Otherwise, that's a real dick move, even for a liberal Republican. Best wishes, emailer Tim. You make me so mad. I want to beat your ass. All right. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'd love to hear from you. In fact, I have that email that I wanted to get to from listener Brian. And I had it, and then I lost it. Hang on. Aha. This is touching on a number of things that have come up on the show, and I'm not really getting into much of the things that I have gotten to in past shows. And frankly, it's been fun. I've enjoyed this. Well, I always enjoy the show. I always enjoy talking, as you know. Some of you might not like some of the subject matter because you get sick of it. I understand, but again, we got to let the river take us where it goes. If the world is talking about all these things, like yesterday, fuck, man. That Bubba Wallace story, holy shit. I have gotten more and more pissed off about that as time has passed. I am now diving in by referring to him as Bubba Smollett now. That is. And then I loved the trending things on Twitter. Noose car. Oh, my God, was that perfect. Fake noose. These are things I did not think of, but boy, are they funny. Fake noose. Holy shit, is that great. Fuck Bubba Wallace. Fuck that guy playing on all our emotions. I wouldn't even put it past him if he was in on the whole fucking thing. This would have all been avoided if Wallace, when he saw that it was the garage pull, would have simply said, yeah, it ain't what it is. But he's a fucking opportunist. He's a piece of shit driver who sucks, who's now taking a stand because of this happened on something that didn't even happen. That's the only way this guy will get popular, because he sucks shit at driving. Someone else said, you know what else you can't find in Bubba Wallace's garage? A trophy. Ah, God. The memes, they're some of the best. The one that said, oh, my God, they found a gun in Bubba Wallace's garage, and it's a drill. Ugh. The one that said KKK hoods were found in Bubba Wallace's garage, and it was those disposable pointy white cups. Awesome. Screw Bubba Wallace. Brian writes, Eric, I guess this may haunt. I think he wrote it weird, and I can't figure out what he means. He says, I guess this may have taught a few. Okay, it's taught. I guess this may have taught a few people some lessons about jumping onto the train too damn quick. Pause. There is nothing wrong with jumping onto a train too damn quick. Take it from me. I am a jump on train too damn quick guy. If you don't have guy who jumps on train too damn quick, you don't have talk shows and podcasts. You got to have the guy to jump on too damn quick. Because when guy who jumps on too damn quick and then gets quickly knocked off train, or train goes even further, the whole saga around that is entertaining. So, yes, you're right. You got to be careful, but it's really fun to jump on the too damn quick train. Let me just say, from a jump on train too damn quick guy, it's great. Yeah, I jumped on we got a Love Bubba train, and now I'm jumping on, there's another train going the other direction that's called the Fuck Bubba train. And that's the train. I literally was on the one train, and as the Fuck Bubba train's coming at the Love Bubba train, I jumped like Neo in the Matrix and landed onto the Fuck Bubba train. So I didn't learn anything. Fuck Bubba Wallace. I guess this may have taught a few people about jumping on the train too damn quick when somebody posts something to make sure that it's actually real. It's an example of how going too far on the slippery slope, even though you don't want to hear that. So he's combining things on this email about a lot of things that are grinding his gears. He continues, I think we all need to take a step back. We got to take a breath. We got to relax a little bit and try not to change 100 years of culture in 1 week. I'm not offended by the white guy on the front of the Cracker Jack box. There's a level of being woke, and then there's a level of being an asshole. And too many people are crossing into the asshole zone. I think I fall into that. I think I was falling into the asshole zone. Is that a surprise to any of you? Let's figure out what the fuck is real and what's fake. The fact that the Aunt Jemima family didn't give a shit about Aunt Jemima is fucking awesome, he writes. A statue with a young black boy and a cotton bag. Sure, take the statue down. It is blatant and pointing at slavery. There are people that don't agree with that right there. Then he says, but the Lincoln Memorial or the Washington Monument, fuck you, all caps. They are the founding fathers at a time when slavery was not frowned upon like it is today. You're not going to go back in time and fire a comedian for something he said 30 years ago. So let's not go back in time 100 years and fire a president for something that was common then. If you don't like where America came from, there's a famous saying I love to repeat. There's no anchor on your ass. Go find someplace else to live. America has changed on its own for the better in the last century, and it will continue in the next century. Signed, Pissed Off in Granville, known as Brian. As always, you can reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have something that is poignant, well thought, I absolutely would love to continue doing that, reading those on the show. We got more coming up. We're not even close to being done. As you know, I have a retired U.S. Army major by the name of Steve Prince, a big, giant mountain of a man with a deep voice. He actually sounds like the metal shop voice. Hey, this is Steve Prince for Prince Army. I want to teach you about what it takes to get your CPL. You can get certified with me. The next class is coming up July 11th. You can reach out to me at 616-204-1705. I'm Steve Prince, and I endorse this message. I'm Steve Prince, and I approve this message. Prince's next class is coming up on July 11th. I was just talking with Ryan over at Metalworks Body Shop, and he said that his wife wants to get a pistol. I told her that doesn't surprise me a bit. She can get a pistol, but she wants to carry it around. Carry a sweet little piece in her purse, probably a .38 snub nose. If you want to get your CPL, you got to take the class. It's going to cost you $125. Saturday, July 11th. It's going to start at 8 a.m. The place in Holland Township, Michigan, where it's at, they got a petting zoo there. The guy that lives there is, like, awesome. He's got this great garage, pole barn man cave where you learn it all. You're going to watch a video. You're going to learn about the legalities. You're going to take a written test. You're going to get range time. You don't even have to have a gun to do this class. You take the class. You pass the test. You get certification because he is a certified instructor. You take that certification to your county. Say, look, I passed the class. They're going to say $110, please. You give the county $110. 2 months' time, you got your pistol license. You put that in your wallet, and then you carry your piece around wherever you go. And then nothing's going to happen. You're never going to have to use that thing. But if ever some fucker tries to give you any shit and steal your stuff or hurt you, you shoot his face off. Because you can. I encourage you all to do this. Take the class July 11th with Steve Prince. You can click on the Prince Army icon at ericzaneshow.com. It'll take you right to his Facebook page. Senor Martinez, tu madre es una puta. That's right.
Tu madre es una puta.
He did a hell of a job replacing the compressor on my AC. Man, that was great. Send me the bill. I got it. And I was like, man, this is great. We're like trading money. You're paying me for the ads, and then I give it right back to you for your top-notch service. Thank you, Joe. You did a great job. I didn't even tell Diana it was fixed. I figure if I save $5, $6, I think it cost my house about $5 a day to cool it. Okay? And I usually keep it at 77 during the day, and everybody bitches that it's too hot. And then at night, I let it drop to 72 so we can sleep soundly. But it's been really cool at night. So I didn't even tell her that it's fixed. And so I'm going to see if I can slowly pay myself back for the cost of fixing it with Joe. But, man, great job, buddy. You got that done super quick. You got a guy, folks. Remember, if you need anything heating and cooling wise, A&E Heating and Cooling. If you need a new install too, by the way, he's going to install a Comfort Maker products. The Comfort Maker air conditioners and furnaces. Comfort with confidence with Comfort Maker. They're the best. If you're getting rid of your old shit, it's worn out, run down, let Joe replace it with the Comfort Maker. You're going to call him up, going to get an estimate. I want you to get 3 estimates, 2 from whoever. I don't care who it is. I want you to go to a small town, small guy, mom and pop guy, call him. I want you to call the big guys in town, get all those estimates, and then get Joe last. And then, if by chance any of those other ones are lower than Joe, say, Joe, I really want you to do this because you're Zane's guy, but this guy has this price lower than yours. What are you going to do for me? Joe's going to beat that price. Okay? If that's the route you want to go. And then you're with the legend, and he can teach you how to say something like,
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
He'll do that slowly. I've struggled with that.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Vete la chingada. Vete la chingada.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Vete la chingada, cabrón.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Vete la chingada, cabrón. Vete la chingada, cabrón. Tu madre es una puta. Vete la chingada, cadrón.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Do I have to roll my R there, cadrón? God, I have a terrible accent.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
He can teach you. That means go fuck yourself in Spanish. Okay? If you really want to get adventurous, you got to say this one.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
Now that's really involved.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
That means eat my ass while I'm shitting. If you can bust that out and master that one.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
He's really gonna love you. For every time you say something nasty to him in Spanish, he'll knock $5 off your bill.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
So it's like, bring your child to work there. He's got like a 10-year-old with him, and you say this.
Comes chingo de cagada.
The kid's going to be like, what? Why'd that guy just tell Dad to eat tons of shit? All right. I spent way too much time to that stupidity. Thanks to Pellerito. He produces video. I'll link it up for you to check it out. You can see it for yourself. Hang on a second here before I get to that. Let's go down the road to this. Got an email from Melinda in Tennessee. Eric, I got to disagree with you on the gym situation. I frequent the gym. I go to at 4 a.m. when maybe 5 people are there. I do the weights, cardio, circuit, Planet Fitness has. I follow a few guidelines, wipe the equipment down when I start, and when I'm done, I don't touch my face and practice common sense exercising. When you're talking to someone you know, don't get all up in their face. Just stay back. I was talking to a lady this morning. We stayed far apart. It was perfectly fine, as far as you know. I do have a comorbid condition of diabetes. Type 2 diabetes. The kid's got diabetes.
He got type 1 diabetes.
In my view, it sure feels like Whitmer is being entirely too controlling. No, she's not, and I'm going to explain why in a second, miss. You will tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, you're right, I will. And that's fine, and I know she's trying to do slowly opening, but that isn't just delaying the inevitable. But isn't that just delaying the inevitable? It's delay. That's the key word. Yes, other states who have opened up have seen a rise, but Tennessee did a staggered opening, and guess what? Our numbers are up. Right. You just said it. 932 since yesterday and a total of 35,553. That being said, Michigan has 67,957, confirmed, nearly twice that of Tennessee. All the more reason to do this, Melinda. You're actually sending me the information that I would use against you in the court of Eric. My dear. Michigan was one of the most extreme spikes from the very beginning. Thus, the aggressive nature. And to avoid it becoming like those other states, she's doing the staggered thing based on Michigan's numbers, you dodo. Tennessee numbers, and just because your gym is open and because your state is different, you will have different variables and a different protocol. So what you're doing is probably right. And you're right. More than likely, any state's numbers will go up. The point is, we're just trying to buy time. So I have no idea if Tennessee is right or wrong or ultimately how it will turn out. All I know is that within Michigan, based on the data she has, and you even send me data from your state, you're right. We need to, in Michigan, do it this way. Every state's different, and who knows where this will ultimately wind up. But if I'm in a state that suddenly has huge spikes and people that now have it, and the state's 100% open, that could put you... Think about it this way. I heard Joe List talk about this on his podcast, which is called Tuesdays with Stories. This all comes to us when at one point, 9 people in the United States were sick. 9 people. And by the end of the summer, 200,000 will be dead. So all things considered, if we start now, which has a lot more than 9 people sick, it has millions of people sick, where do you think that's going to lead us? Just some food for thought. Probably not going to agree with me. All right. Tim writes, listen, dumbass, I'm not going to say anything about freedom. Although I disagree with, you always ruin it when you call her Governor Stretchmore. I agree with Governor Stretchmore's, I disagree with Governor Stretchmore's seemingly random openings. They're not random. I understand why she's doing what she's doing. What I fucking hate is all the talking heads now speaking up about the virus outbreaks. Well, why? What the fuck is wrong with that? Sweeping across this great nation without mentioning a damn thing about the 3 previous weeks of riots that broke out over this nation. It's bullshit. Call it like it is, and I'll take them more seriously. No, I think everybody understands that the riots may have and probably did have something to do with more people getting sick. But you know what? They had plenty of riots in a lot of other states, too, where it hasn't taken off like that. I mean, you mean to tell me that in New York City they didn't have any riots? They had the biggest riots in New York City, and they didn't experience those spikes. So there you go, you stupid fucking hillbilly. More Bubba Wallace memes that are going to make me really, really laugh. This one shows that device you use. What's it called? A cherry picker. It's a big arm with a chain on it. The meme says, portable gallows found at Bubba Wallace's garage. Fuck. Then there's the NASCAR logo where it's a take on the NASCAR logo. Thank you to Dirk. Fuck. You see a meme. It's of a Genie garage door opener. And it says, Bubba finally lands a corporate sponsor. Oh, fucking perfect. I don't get the one that says he landed a sponsor. It's Subway. Does anybody understand that one? I didn't get it. It said he's got his car wrapped in Subway. And I'm missing that. And by the way, Jamel Harris, is that Jamel, the lady on ESPN? I'm guessing if I just type, Jamel Hill. She is, she said real slowly, it was a noose. It, period, was, period, period, noose, period. It was not. It was a handle. When you go on, like, and I was reminded of it when I said Subway, when you go, like, on a train or a subway and you grab that handle there, you don't say you're putting your hand in the noose. I heard one of those conservative talk show hosts, one of those black guys that wears the MAGA hats. He said it's a handle. That's what that was. Shit. Come on. Thank you to Dirk for sending those memes along. Later on today, as soon as I get done with this podcast, I will post to In the News the Pellerito made video that was taken from the Patreon bonus podcast. I was in this room right here, and then my daughter Madison reached out to me via a text, and it said, thanks for eating my Jimmy John's. I wanted that. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't eat anybody's Jimmy John's. I know better in this house full of women to just raid the fridge of your shit. I mean, come on. I've got my ass in the grinder many times for that. I'm not going to do that. And so I called her. I go, hey, I didn't eat it, man. And then I hear her dying in the background. I threw it away. And then Maddie gets pissed at her. And then she's sitting there talking to me. And I'm like, hey, you're supposed to say sorry, I think. And she goes, I'm coming up to say sorry. And so then I did the impression of her, which is always like this. Because she walks, I swear to God, she walks with her heels just smashing the ground. This young lady cannot walk silently. If I am in bed and she stays up till like 4 a.m. every night, she goes to like let the dogs out, and I get woken up, and I think that there's an intruder breaking into the house. And I get up, I grab my shotgun. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I have awake, and it's just Madison walking to the house. So I've made this a running joke on the show. Pellerito takes the video, and he adds some key audio sound effects as Madison walked into the room. You won't be able to get the full effect of the comedy because you can't see this, obviously, but you will be when the podcast is over because I will link it up.
I'm coming in. I'm right outside the door.
That's when she's on the phone. Come on in. Come on in. You're on camera. Microphone. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Madison joins me on the podcast. Every step.
I just assumed you ate my Jimmy John's.
It's in perfect.
So
get close to my face. It's in perfect timing.
Smile. Yeah.
We look alike?
We have the same nose.
All right.
All right, I'm leaving you.
Okay, see you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
I love you too. See what it is. See what it's like with chicks. This is what you deal with.
I don't consciously think about how I walk.
Oh. Yeah, I know, man. So, Pellerito sends me this. I go, Madison, you got to see this. That's so mean. And she's laughing. I go, it's funny. Seriously, what is going on? Those feet. She has big feet. I mean, my God. But it's the way I go, just walk. I don't know. Do anything. Do something. do anything that different than what you're doing. Just walk on your toes. Seriously, it's got to quiet down. Okay. I can count 0 the times that I've said, hey, guys, I want to play you some audio from yesterday's House Judiciary Committee. I can't even talk. House Judiciary Committee meeting is what I wanted to say. But Mike Pellerito sent this along, a big contributor today. Pellerito gets the gold star. And something funny happened during this bit of audio. Excuse me. What would normally be a bunch of boring shit turns into about 4 minutes and 15 seconds of funny shit. The players involved. The committee chair, Gerald Nadler. He's a Democrat. He is the key guy who is allowing a witness who is speaking about a subject that I'm not entirely clear of, but I know it has something to do with William Barr, I think is the guy's name. No idea. Well, anyway, this guy, Donald Ayer, is a witness, and he's making a statement. You're allowed to speak for 5 minutes. If you don't have it quite done, they can grant you a little bit more time to squeeze in the last little bit. That's a decision made by the House Judiciary Chair, Gerald Nadler, which I just told you about. Nadler's next to Ayer with his mask, letting the guy go. Well, there is a Republican named Louis Gohmert, a Republican from Texas, who doesn't like the fact that this witness is going on and on and on. And with kind of like just blowing through the rules. And so he gets frustrated that this witness is allowed to continue to do his thing. So this Representative Louis Gohmert wants him to stop. And he has like what looks to be a big, like a pen, I don't know, something to bang on his desk. And at first you hear it off mic, and then he puts it on his microphone and starts hitting the desk in order to make a ruckus while this witness talks. Everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, fuck you. This guy should be shutting the fuck up now. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, you can't go on and on. There's rules here. This is hysterical. I'm going to be stopping this and starting it throughout, and you'll be able to figure out what's, based on what I gave you as to how it all has gone. But here you go. It was otherwise a boring day, made a lot of fireworks with this.
This conduct is a textbook violation of Justice Manual Rule 1-7.400, which bars public comment on criminal investigations before
He's already over the time by 2 minutes.
Charges are filed. Here, though, the wrong is much worse, as Barr is using a criminal investigation to produce fodder for the president's campaign propaganda mill, which can have its effect even though it is false. This conduct in particular gives cause for great concern about what Barr may do next. Just another 30 seconds. In closing, it needs to be said that Bill Barr does regularly lie in ways that impact official action. Along with his continuing media project to make Americans believe that the FBI conspired against Donald Trump.
It's at this time everybody's really starting to get pissed at Louis Gohmert, who's banging that whatever that is to make that noise.
His statements about the Mueller report, Jeffrey Berman's supposed resignation, and Barr's own role in the events in Lafayette Park come quickly to mind. So does his practice of regularly shrouding himself in the rhetoric and trappings of the rule of law, even as he desecrates and undermines the institutions that make it possible. But to me, Barr's crowning dishonesty is the portrait of Edward Levy that a recent New York Times article showed hanging on the wall of his conference room.
All right, now Gohmert is screaming and banging the gavel.
So the current incumbent has
regular order.
That's Nadler thing. Get it together. Get it. He's real boring.
Witness will conclude. Regular order is right.
We're way beyond regular order.
This is Gohmert saying we're way on regular order. This Texan's gonna talk.
The witness will continue.
Can I have one more sentence, Your
By
Honor?
all means.
Okay. But to me,
So Nadler's like, yeah, go ahead. Talk as long as you want. And Gomer's like, fuck that guy, man. He's way over. We're way past regular order.
Barr's crowning dishonesty is the portrait of Edward Levy that a
Mr.
recent
Chairman, I would
New York
ask
Times
that the sergeant at arms.
All right. This is another player. This is a Democrat by the name of Hank Johnson, who's calling on the sergeant at arms, the guard, to go and grab Gomer by the cock and throw him out.
Be called upon to stop the disruption of this meeting. I can't hear this witness. This is a very important witness.
Yeah, well, he's way beyond
And the
his
chair
time.
has
And if
the
there are no
authority-
rules about
the
when
chair
people
has
can
the
Gomer.
talk,
authority, does
there's
he
no
not?
rules about when you can make noise.
The gentleman.
If there's no rules about how long you can talk, then there's no rules about if you can make noise. Holy fuck.
That's a good point, and the chair will enforce the 5-minute rule. Witness will proceed.
Chair is not enforcing a 5-minute
The
rule.
witness will conclude.
Hey, they said, yeah, I'm going to enforce the 5-minute rule. Well, you're not enforcing the 5-minute rule.
Mr. Chairman, this is outrageous. Do you have no respect for the rules whatsoever?
The witness will conclude.
He's 2 minutes beyond concluding, and you don't let us have that kind of time. You gavel down immediately. You're being grossly unfair. This man has a written statement.
So I guess Nadler's like, all right, 5 minutes. Done. And then this cock starts going on. He goes, oh, yeah, take as much time as you want. We got all day.
Concluding, and you don't let us have that kind of time. You gavel down immediately. You're being grossly unfair. This man has a written statement, and he knew to cut it to 5 minutes. He couldn't do it. Either we have rules or we don't.
The gentleman will suspend. The witness will conclude.
Thank you.
Well, then
In
we
closing,
can keep making
it needs
noise.
to be
Okay.
said.
Nadler says the gentleman, he's referring to Gomer, will suspend, meaning he will stop. The witness will conclude. Gomer, the gentleman, says, well, then we'll keep making noise. You heard that. That was great.
Rules or we don't.
The gentleman will suspend. The witness will conclude.
Thank you.
Well, then
In
we can
closing,
keep
it
making
needs to
noise.
be said that Bill Barr does regularly lie in ways that impact
witness
official
keeps
action.
going.
Mr. Chairman, there's not order in the room. There's a banging.
No,
That's
there's certainly not.
disrespectful.
Mr. Chairman,
would you have Gene Krupa removed?
They want to kick him out.
The witness will conclude.
That's what you said a while ago, and he didn't conclude.
The gentleman will suspend. The witness will conclude.
So I guess the last thing I want to sum up with, I've said all the
witness.
rest of this, but the last point I'd like to make is that I think his crowning dishonesty in the face of what he is doing to the Justice Department is the
it
picture
again.
that I
Do
saw
it again.
in the New York Times a few weeks
Do
ago.
it. Yes.
A portrait of Edward Levy on the wall of his conference room, as though
I
the
love
current
this guy.
incumbent has anything but disdain
This
for
is
the
Eric
beliefs
Zane
and
right here.
achievements of his predecessor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I have a parliamentary inquiry.
This is the dude who asked the sergeant at arms to get Gomer out. He is in lockstep with Nadler, another Democrat. So you got this is a war between the parties here.
Gentleman will state his parliamentary inquiry.
Is it not appropriate for the chair to exercise discretion in extending the 5-minute rule as the chair sees fit?
All right.
It certainly is appropriate.
And is it authorized under the rules of this committee?
It certainly is authorized under the rules of this committee.
Well, then, cannot the chair call in the sergeant at arms to maintain order when a member of this panel is out of order and disrupts
We'll
the
move
meeting?
on to the next witness.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Elias.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
That ends. He kept going on. There's actually more to it, but I somehow cut off the ending. Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, I got to watch that more often. Thank you to Mike. Hey, Mike, how did you discover that? I'm curious. Do you watch that shit? Is that, or did you just stumble upon it in an interesting way? Oh, my God. Too good. Kenny says, that's twice today you combined those words. Committee and meeting. I said commeeting. Damn it. Yeah, it happens. I do that a lot on this show. When you're one man, that's a regular thing. As always, if you're watching or taking part in the live stream, Eric at Eric Zane Show. I'm sorry, Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. You're on Twitter or YouTube. And as always, the Eric Zane Show podcast is available on Apple Podcasts or any place that you download podcasts. I also have it available at my website, ericzaneshow.com. Just click where it says free podcast and then click subscribe. And would you please subscribe, rate, and review? I'm anxious to see, especially on Apple Podcasts. I know you can make comments, a review on Apple Podcasts, and I think on CastBox as well. But I like to read those from time to time. And I'd like some fresh ones. So do me this favor. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, where it says rate, review, throw me 5 stars, and then throw me a review and be honest. I mean, tell me what you think about this shit, okay? Unless, of course, you are a subversive asshole who is in lockstep with another scumbag who hates me, and you're just trying to bring me down because you're an asshole. That happens too. I'll just have to take that as it comes. Okay. I got a couple more we have to get to, a couple more stories on this podcast. You've been a great audience so far. It sounds like I'm doing stand-up. Boy, you've been a great audience so far. Hey, I have a gunsmith on the show. I've got a lot of gun-related industries that support the podcast. Did you hear that? I don't know what my problem is right now. I almost said the prodcast. It's embarrassing. Benjamin and Kyle Newton, the husband and wife team of gunsmiths in Saranac, Michigan. BK, Guns and Stuff, servicing clients anywhere in the world. Okay? Reach out to them, 616-902-2447. You have a gunsmith for repairs, restoration, customization, firearms transfers, whatever you need. BK, Guns and Stuff. Get to their website, their Facebook page, I should say, through ericzaneshow.com. Just click on their logo, and then you are in business, or search letter B, letter K, Guns and Stuff on Facebook. Key sponsor also, Green Clean Technologies, cleaning the data centers and all the great businesses that are in this world, in the Michigan area especially. If you're a bank, if you're any type of institution that has a large bank of data centers, a bank with a bank of data centers, maybe a hospital setting, any type of data center setup, you're going to need the air to be cleaner than, the normal air that we breathe. The minute dust particles that float around in the air and oddly charged ions and things like that can wreak havoc on data centers. And it's not like your desktop computer at your house. There's a set of protocol that has to happen to keep those data centers clean. And if you don't, the data center can be compromised, and that is a problem. The one business that does this is Green Clean Technologies, greencleantechnologies.com. It's Zaniac Will. His number is 989-560-7272. Now, you might not own a business with a data center, but you sure as hell might work in one that has a data center. Remember this company. You might have to drop some knowledge on the boss about how the data center needs to be more pristine than it is. They'll love you for that. Green Clean Technologies does all that. And let me just do this again. I wanted to say, in the NHL draft, he's known as Mr. Irrelevant, the last one drafted. Not so if you're the last sponsor on the Eric Zane Show podcast. The last sponsor of the day is Shoreliner's Striping. I love this business because there's just only a handful of people that do it in Michigan. And the ones that do it in West Michigan specifically and beyond is Shoreliner's Striping, run by AHL referee Tim Mayer and his merry bunch of other referees and linesmen. If you need the parking lot striped, you call on Shoreliners, 616-536-1985. Striping the parking lot, striping the workplace, the floor where all the manufacturing is going on during COVID. That's a thing, man. You got to have that thing properly striped to stay in compliance with whatever state that you're in. And they stripe athletic fields. All right? In fact, to get to that information, you can just call them and ask. But if you click on services, right there, it's in green. It says Shoreliners Athletic Field Painting. Thank you to Shoreliners, online at shorelinersstriping.com. I'll link this up. I don't know if you saw the video of the guy who, I don't know, somewhere in, I guess, Delaware area, hot day, decides to jump in the water. And they're like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? There's like a shark in the water. It's shark alert. You can't go in the water. There's a shark, visible shark right there." And you're like, "What's going on here?" You see the guy run up to the shark, going towards where like you see the dorsal fin, and then you're like, "Well, okay, clearly this is a new form of suicide. This is death by shark, and he's gonna get eaten." The guy is like way tan and ripped and like ultra handsome, and you're like, "This is crazy. How are we seeing this? We're gonna watch a guy die." And then we see waiting in the water a photographer who's recording every minute of it. And he goes in, and then he jumps on the shark. And this is probably as big as this table. This is like a 5-6 foot table. So it isn't like a baby shark or anything. Baby shark, do 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 do. I love that song so much. Your kids love it too. And now it's going to be stuck in your head. And then he puts his arm around the body of the shark, and he's walking with it. And then he grabs the shark's nose, and he pulls on it so that its mouth is open, and you realize it's all a photo op. This cock is terrorizing the shark. Never before have I ever rooted for a shark until now. That's all that this dumbass was doing, was getting a epic photo of him with a shark. And I felt terrible for the shark. By the way, I'm finding out that it's actually illegal to actually catch a shark in this part of the U.S. It happened at a place called Henlopen State Park Beach. If he were to bring it out of the water, he'd have been in trouble. But that was it. He got the picture, and then the shark swam away. I was like, what a fucking asshole. Never before have I wanted somebody to get bitten by a shark more than that guy. And finally, who the hell knew that if you're a beekeeper, there's two things on this story that are strange. It comes to us from England. Lady buys a house, and somehow she didn't have any idea that there was something going on in the chimney. But there was a massive beehive in the chimney. And she's like, "Oh, my God, this is terrible. What the hell am I going to do? Jesus, I just got this house." First of all, I think it had to have been on the disclosure agreement, right? Or maybe they didn't know. I don't know. They buy this house, new house. They discovered too late the chimney was infested with what was estimated to be 130,000 bees. The local beekeeper shows up. Now, in my mind, the beekeeper shows up and, he just lights a match and the bees catch on fire. But no, you can't do that. The idea with bees these days is you got to just, with these types of bees, especially, I think they're very, very important. And if a beekeeper does it right, there's really no risk or harm that can come if you're doing it correctly. Now, when I had the bald-faced hornet nest in the tree, it was all about killing those things, and they should be. But bees is a different story. They're a commodity, and not only should they be kept alive, but they are in high demand, and someone will steal them. Who knew? The beekeeper shows up, and to do it for free, he's just going to take the bees out and utilize the bees for good. I guess for pollinating or farming, or you can sell off parts of the hive. I'm not really sure about that. But the beekeeper does it. He spends like a whole day getting 130,000 bees out of there. And he's like vacuuming them up, and the bees get sucked into the vacuum. Doesn't kill them. And then he actually has to take the hive and take it back to his area where his business. And then if the queen is there, you can actually set up the hive again. And he did that. I had no idea that this is a thing. Apparently, though, somebody knew where the hidden hive was. You're not supposed to tell other people that the hive is there because a thief will steal it. And some fucking thief stole the hive, leaving the guy with nothing but a few dead bees. Peter Clark helped remove the bees after the massive hive. Excuse me. Hang on. I need water. I can't take it. Yeah, much better. Peter Clark helped remove the bees after the massive hive was discovered in the fireplace. Originally, they were told the couple was told $3,700, but Clark offered them a lower price to relocate the bees, and he can use the bees. Now he says he's absolutely heartbroken. This is the worst day of my life, he says. When I turned up at the farm, they're all gone. Just a handful of dead ones lying on the floor. According to him, there is no way the bees would have left the larva. Whoever did this took all the bees, including the queen. When I arrived with the bees from the house, I parked my van in a country lane and I walked to the hive site when I thought was unknown to anyone else. Apparently, it seems that somebody else was aware of the hive, the dude explained. When I returned to the site, I could see where the 2 separate tire marks leading to the hives were. I called the cops, but I don't think the thieves will be caught. The bees are worth a lot of money. I thought it would be a lot more. They said a full healthy hive can fetch $600. That's a lot of work for $600 worth of bees. Do you believe that the bees are dying and we won't have any bees? Have you heard about this? They said that once the bees all die, we'll all die shortly after. Do you believe that, or is that more fear-mongering? I have no idea. I feel bad for the guy, but who knew you could just go and steal the bees and make money? How the hell are you going to, if you get the bees, what do? You list them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or something? Should be pretty easy to track down, right? No idea. Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you have any words about any of the things we've talked about on the show. You guys have a good one. Wait a minute. Hold on. Before we go, from time to time, I'll do that. I'll get on here and then I'll start the outro, and then I'll see an email and I realize I got to talk about it. Bob, who's a regular, he's another of my Republican listeners. He's a Republican like me. But Bob, I think, is getting fed up with me having common sense on various issues. This is what he writes. Eric, man, I've been pretty quiet. He says, I've been pretty quiet, even through your transformation into a flaming liberal pussy. Even though your flaming transformation to a flaming liberal pussy has been pissing me off. I'm waiting to hear that you and Robert S. are going to be co-hosting a new show soon, LOL. My question to you is, if you don't care that people are tearing down statues and banning flags because they're offended, would you mind if the American flag was banned and made to be redesigned? Yes, I'd be offended. After all, some people are offended by it. What if crucifixes start getting destroyed because people are offended by them? Well, American flags have been banned in some places in the U.S., and I don't think the latter is far off. This isn't a smart-ass question. I really want to know where you draw the line. And I think if you go back to earlier in the podcast, I did touch a bit about the slippery slope thing. So I think I am getting close to taking a deep breath on the whole banning things. So I hope that clears it up for you. The answer is earlier, Bob. All right. That's going to do it, folks. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll talk to you on the listener-supported Patreon bonus podcast. If you like the free podcast, oh, man, the best thing you can do is reward me with a few bucks a month on the Patreon bonus. And I give you tons of shit on the Patreon bonus podcast. I'm not just asking for your money. I give you a fresh podcast every single day. More information and your help as a patron is appreciated. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I need a drink. I can't talk. More coffee. Talk to you folks. Bye-bye.